Welcome to Perimenopause Weight Loss and Wellness, the podcast for women over 35 who are ready to stop guessing and start understanding what really is happening to their bodies. I'm your host, Anastasia Bennett, registered clinical nutritionist specializing in perimenopause, menopause, weight loss, and gut health, and someone who's been through early perimenopause myself. Whether you're struggling with stubborn weight, fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, poor sleep, or just looking for strategies that work for this stage of life, you are in the right place. Grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back to my podcast. Today's guest is Heidi from Bone and Body Blueprint. Heidi specializes in DEXA bone density and body composition scanning, helping people understand what's happening inside their bodies long before problems show up. And if you've been chasing a number on scales and wondering why you still don't feel healthier, this episode is for you. Today, Heidi is explaining why body composition tells us far more than body weight ever can. Welcome back, Heidi. That's our second episode together.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again. I'm really enjoying these episodes. So yeah, let's get stuck into it.
It's so awesome to have you back. I find the information that you're providing is so valuable and a lot of women need to hear more about it. So anyway, tell me, what's the difference between body weight and body composition?
Oh, well, basically your body weight is what the scales tell you. So that is the weight that your total body is weighing when you hop on the scales. The body composition is what that weight is made up of. So is that weight made up of muscle? Is it bone? Is it organs? Is it fat? And exactly what makes up that weight, the composition of your body.
Nice. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have a question about it. Can you tell me what's the difference actually between DEXA and the ones that you see in the gym? That, you know, the one that you hold the bar or step on the plates?
Yeah, so DEXA scanner is specialized radiology equipment. So as we've previously talked, uses X-ray technology and a detector on top to detect the radiation that's coming through your body. Now, the difference is with the scales that you stand on is they're called bioimpedance. And what bioimpedance is sending an electrical current through your body and measuring how fast it gets through your body. And then depending on which company it's with, they then compare that impedance of the current to their data set and estimate your muscle and fat. So the interesting thing is, if you stand your feet on the plates, the current that is going to be running through your body goes up your leg, across your bladder, and down your other leg. So if you're like me that have got really, really skinny little legs, but I'm a little bit top heavy, the current that's running through my legs is going to go quite fast and measure me at a lot skinnier than I actually am. Now, if you step on the ones at the gym where you're holding the little things either side, the current is going to run through my hand, across the top here, down this hand, and it's going to be measured like that. And if you're like me, we're a little bit top heavy, it's going to overestimate my total body fat percentage because it's going through the heaviest part of me. So, and again, then it will take that current and it will estimate it against their data set. So a DEXA scanner is the most accurate because it's actually measuring you, what is there. It's not estimating or comparing you to a data set. So just a little bit of information. And then of course we have skin folds where they will actually take a skin fold and measure it and get a fat measurement of that. So there's 3 different ways of measuring. There's a skin fold, there's the bioimpedance, and then there is a DEXA scanner, which is what we do.
So what happens if you stand on those machines at the gyms and you've got the feet on the plate and you've got the hands on the handles? Does it measure both up and down?
No. So they're either the stand with the feet on the plate or the stand with the hands on the plate. So there's 2 different.
So it can't be, it's not doing both. No. There's no machine that does both? Oh, okay. Interesting. What about those in-body scans, or what are the other, like there's lots of different brands. I just know an in-body scan. I don't know the other ones.
So the in-body is the bioimpedance. That's the one where you're holding and a current is going through you. And I think is it Revolt 360 scan? They're all bioimpedance. So that's what you need to ask. If you're going to have a scan at one of the gyms, just ask them, is it a bioimpedance scan?
Okay. All right. So with DEXA, so what does actually DEXA body composition scan measure? And how do you use machine? Like, what do you do? Do you lay down? Do you sit up? Do you stand? What do you do?
Yeah. So it's like a bed that you're lying on, and you lie down on the bed. The X-ray comes from underneath. It comes through you, and we have a scanning arm that measures and goes basically from head to toe, and it's measuring the composition at the different levels that it's coming through your body. So it's lie down, and it takes about 5 to 6 minutes to get the scan.
Mm-hmm. So it's quick.
Yeah. Yep.
And you do that at your clinic, right?
Yeah, so we have a clinic in Te Awamutu in the Waikato, and we've got a clinic in Pukekohe up in Auckland. And obviously we'd like to add more clinics, but for the moment we just have those two. But if you Google DEXA, DEXA or DXA, body composition, you may be able to find one in your town where you are in the South Island and Auckland. I think there's a couple down in Wellington and over in the Hawke's Bay.
Interesting. Well, maybe Wellington is another opportunity. Just a question off the topic, like, can anyone do the scan and then send things to you so you can do the reading as you give feedback to the client? Or does it have to be a person like you in the clinic doing that?
So a lot of the DEXA scanners are owned by radiology companies, and they just specialize in the bone density that we've kind of talked about previously. There are some companies that do the bone density and the body composition. With us, we are qualified radiographers, but we've also trained in body composition. So rather than just giving you a report and away you go, we actually sit down and go through the report with you. So the body composition separates you into fat, muscle, and bone and tissue as well. So we get different raw values. Wow. Literally in kgs, you have so many kgs of fat, or you have so many kgs of muscle on you. And we go through that with you, and we look at where that puts you in the scheme of things for your age, for a female, for a male of your age, and make sure that you've got all of the data that you need to then take it to a nutritionist or to someone like yourself to be able to rifle through it with what you need to do going forward, or where your baseline is at.
That's great. That's great. And so based on that information, why is muscle so important for women in their 40s and 50s?
Yeah, well, as you know, and I've been listening to some of your online stuff, when our estrogen drops, it has a dramatic effect on the whole body. And part of that is the ability to build muscle, and also we lose muscle as well. So muscle is really important going forward as we age to support our skeleton. Not only does working your muscles also help your bones, but it also supports your skeleton, and it helps you to keep your muscle going forward in a time of our life when we really start to lose muscle.
Yeah. I agree with that. So as we know, a lot of women celebrate losing kilos, right? Like losing weight on scales. But what if they are actually losing muscle instead of fat?
Yeah, and that's a really big concern, and really probably where the value of the DEXA body composition scan has its most value for women. Getting a baseline is absolutely great, and some of our clients are just happy with a baseline, but being able to track how your body is responding to what you are doing, whether it's nutrition or working out, is the value where you can come back and actually have a scan and we can see. Just losing weight, whilst everybody wants to lose weight and it sounds great, we need to make sure that what our programs that we're doing and our nutrition that we are doing, we are not losing too much muscle. Kind of as a general rule of thumb, most of the clients, they want to lose fat, but you will lose muscle when you are losing weight. And it's okay to lose 30% muscle and 70% fat. That is kind of the norm that we would like to see if you lose 10 kilos, 3 kilos could be muscle and 7 kilos could be fat. If you're losing 5 kilos muscle and 5 kilos fat, then you really do need to either look at your nutrition or look at the working out that you're doing and be working with somebody. This is why it's so great that, we're getting you trained up on these body compositions, because you'll be able to identify the data that says that there's something not right with what they're doing. And it is really important to see that we are keeping that muscle. I mean, it's great if we can build muscle as well, or what our workouts are doing, whether if your goal is not weight loss, but it is to build muscle, and you're looking at the scales and nothing's changing, our scanner can say, hey, actually, you've lost a bit of fat, but you build a bit of muscle, so you're winning and what you're doing is right. And more information, the better for us going forward.
Yeah, that's great. And so can somebody be healthy weight, but still have poor body composition?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So part of the data that we get from our body composition scan is what we call visceral fat, which a lot of people are getting more educated on. The visceral fat is the fat that's sitting on the inside. It's around your organs, and it gives us an indicator that you might have health problems in the future. As we age, we do get more visceral fat. Those, in your 20s and 30s, you probably had none. But as we age, we are getting more visceral fat. So you can have somebody that is very slim, but they have a high visceral fat. You can have someone that is a little bit overweight, but their visceral fat is very low. You can't actually tell by looking at them if they've got a lot of visceral fat. We need to scan it. We have subcutaneous fat that's all sitting on the outside, and then we have the visceral fat that is on the inside. So 100%, you could be a very slim person, but your composition tells us that you're not a healthy person. So there are two different, being slim and being healthy are two different things.
So pretty much this should be done as a yearly health check, really, in someone's life. Not necessarily if they need to lose weight or want to lose weight. I feel like this kind of scan should be done yearly, just to see are you on the right path? Is there any changes happen in the year? Because as we get older, things change. And if you're still looking good, but you starting to accumulate fat inside your organs, then you're going to have all the issues that come with it down the track, right?
Yeah. And definitely we see a number of clients that come back every year and just use it as a checkup to make sure that they on track. They get their baseline, and then they come back every year or every 2 years just to make sure that things haven't changed. 100% that is absolutely what it can be used for. And a lot of people combine it with the body composition and the bone density. So we can do the two scans in the one session. So, they're 50 or 55 and they say, right, well, I just want to come and check my bone density, check my body composition. The bone density scan, if it's normal, only needs to be done every 5 years. But as you said, the body composition is an easy scan, low dose radiation that they can come back every year and check it. And we really do, with this education that we're doing and everything, we're really trying to get people to think about that as using it as a part of their warrant of fitness, bloods and hormone levels and body composition.
How soon would they get results?
So we scan the clients and we go through the report right then with them. I jot down notes on the report that we print out because it's a lot of information to take in. So we really want people to be able to look at their notes, so I'll jot down a few notes with, their interesting data that we received, and then we email them the report as well that doesn't have all of our scribblings on it. But we always sit down and go, we're not here to give nutritional advice or personal training advice or anything like that. It's not our job as radiographers. Our job as radiographers doing these scans is to make sure that they know what the data that the scan is telling them, what each section, the lean mass, the fat mass index, what that means, your basal metabolic rate. How many calories a day do you need to lie flat and exist? So your basal metabolic rate is this.
Yeah.
If you're working with a nutritionist, they will want to know that. So our job is to make sure that they understand the scan.
Yep.
And then we really like it if people are working with nutritionists or personal trainers or health coaches to be able to then take that scan to them and formulate a plan. So that's what it's about.
That's impressive. That's awesome, because I had my DEXA scan for bone density, just for bone density, not for body scan. I'm not going to say where, not where you offer. But it's been over 20 days and I still haven't got my results.
Yeah, wow, 20 days. So the bone density does need to be signed off by a radiologist or endocrinologist.
Okay.
So a report needs to be generated. We do have a 3 to 5 day window where we get that report generated. 20 days is a little bit long.
Awesome. Okay, that's cool. So if someone starts stream training and eating enough protein, what changes would you expect to see on a follow-up scan?
Well, I mean, we'd love to see that they've built some muscle, especially if they've never done any training and they're starting a program. We'd love to see if they've built some muscle. There might be reasons why they haven't built any muscle. And really what we're finding in this journey, and you probably already know this, so I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but every body responds differently to a stimulus that is put on it or the nutrition that it is taking. What one person finds as an absolute success might not be replicated to like 2 or 3 other people if they do exactly the same thing. So, an increase in weights and good protein should give you rewards with an increase in muscle and it's really good for your bones as well. But as we know that it doesn't always happen. So again, the value of a DEXA is seeing how your body responds to it and whether or not the program you're doing or the little changes that you are working on need to be tweaked.
Yeah. Awesome. No, that's great. Thank you so much about explaining about the body composition scan and about the difference and what we want to see and how it works. And I'm actually looking really forward to our next podcast as well, where we're going to be talking about the most hot topic ever, weight loss medication, GLP-1 and Wegovy, and how to ensure that you're not losing all the muscle and you're still getting the benefits of everything. So yeah.
I know both myself and you are really keen to dive into that one, but I'm glad we've done this talk first to give people an idea. And it makes sure that they tune in for the next talk for the interesting part about weight loss drugs and medication. So
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's awesome. All right, Heidi, I know you're a busy lady, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate your knowledge and expertise on this subject.
Lovely to see you again, and I will see you for our next podcast.
If you have any questions about this podcast or about hormones, weight loss, or just healthier lifestyle, please go to our website at lifehackcoaching.co.nz or feel free to email me directly, Anastasia@lifehackcoaching.co.nz.